Good morning, guys. In our last video, you saw us, which was just yesterday, in a snowstorm. We got about 3 inches. That has already melted, which means we got a nasty, muddy mess out there. And we've got more rain and snow on the way. So we got to change gears for a little while and put the house pad on hold. That's okay because we got something to do in here that needs to get done before our slab is poured anyway. So what that is, well, you saw it in the title. We're going to make an elevator for our root cellar right here. Our root cellar is 7 foot wide by 9 foot 10. And you may have had the thought of how much room a set of stairs would take up in such a small space. And not only that, how steep the stairs would have to be because you only have a 9 foot 10 length to go. So that stairs are out of the question. And we planned this way before we even started digging the hole to do an elevator. You'll notice that the pattern of the all thread on this wall is a little bit different than all the ones on the other walls that we've left for shelving. This has got 2 straight lines of 3/8 all thread. And that is where the elevator is going to go. And that is what is going to hold the track of the elevator, which is unistrut or super strut. So these are spaced out just right to where if I hold it straight, unistrut goes on. And that one goes on. So these are the tracks. The elevator is just going to be a platform that'll come down, and you'll actually have to step down off of it because it has to have some framework underneath for supporting it. And it'll have some rollers that go into the unistrut. So the unistrut is what is going to hold it in place and help it to go, or to guide it, I should say, up and down. We're going to use a hoist for lifting it up and down. As these lay, this isn't exactly how they're going to go, but we'll get into that later. For now, I think we'll get started by getting some steel so we can make this platform. And that's great because I get to go to my favorite store, the junkyard, find some scrap metal. We're going to build this from scrap. This stuff, you can't hardly find it at the scrapyard straight anyways. So I had to buy that new. So it's going to be fun. Let's head over to the scrapyard. All right, we got some pretty good size of angle iron there. And this, I gotta catch my breath, is a bunch of, it's all angle iron. Some parts of it are dented and bent pretty good, but most of this stuff is straight. And I don't even need this, even close to this much. But I figured, you know what, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good price. So I just took the whole thing. All that steel, 20 bucks. Brand new, I don't even want to know. Okay, so we've decided to go with a 30 inch, let's see, right there, that's 30. A 30 inch by 30 inch platform for the elevator. First thing I got to do is make the opening of where that platform is going to come up into. And that's what this heavy gauged angle iron is for, this piece and that other one. I've got to cut it into 4 pieces. Basically, just weld a square up that is 30 inches by 30 inches. Actually, maybe a little bit more. Maybe like a 1/4 inch wider. That way that platform's got a little bit of wiggle room about it. So have an 1/8 inch all the way around it for it to come up into inside this. All right, this is the size of the opening. 30 inches by 30 inches. But we got some issues. So the 2 pieces of angle iron I got, one is larger than the other, much taller. That's okay. And I was running out of the smaller one. As you can see here, there's this huge triangle missing and a little bit over there, but that's all right. I can just put filler pieces in for that. My biggest problem is that piece. If you look down at it, you can tell that it is bent. So it's not going to work. I don't have a torch or rosebud to go with the torch to heat this steel up and to beat it straight. So I'm short 1 piece. I do have plans to go back to the scrapyard in a few days, so I will look for another piece of angle iron so that we can get this 4th piece in here. Another thing to note, those shorter ones, I'm going to add some steel to make them taller, but I'm also going to add steel to the taller ones to make them taller. We're pouring a 6-inch slab for the house. I know that's pretty thick, but out here in the mountains, it gets pretty cold, and we worry about frost and the frost heaving. Is that what it's called? Anyway, our friends that we keep mentioning as our friends, shout out to our friends if they're watching, suggest a minimum of a 5-inch slab, but recommend a 6-inch slab. So they don't even, 4-inch slab is like out of the question. So this angle iron, it's got to be a little bit taller. I can easily just cut strips of steel and weld it on. This is not going to be a structural thing. The only purpose is to keep the concrete from flowing in down into the root cellar, and also to have a nice opening that's already done for the elevator and the platform. So rebar is going to get welded to the sides of this, and so the rebar and the concrete ultimately is actually going to be what will hold this up. But man, I like it. I think 30 inches is good. It's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so this will have to get finished later. Now we're going to move on to making the platform out of all that stuff that I cut up earlier.
How's it coming?
Well, that's what we got so far. What do you think?
Whoa, that looks big.
I know, it's bigger.
That's 30 inches?
Yeah, that's bigger than I thought it was going to be too.
That's huge.
As far as a visual.
Right?
Step in,
I know,
if you dare.
Like if I'm holding a box, you know, taking it down of canned goods. That's probably good. It just looks bigger than... I'm excited.
Right? I know, this kind of got me a little tickled too.
Are you guys excited? Who knew we were going to put an elevator in our house?
None of them do. Unless they figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, who guessed?
I didn't tell anyone. So Natalie bought me this a while back. It's for making 90s. So I'm going to try it out for the first time on the platform. All right. What does the speed square say? Huh. That's pretty good. I think I like this thing. What? No way. Do you see that?
What am I seeing?
It doesn't.
Doesn't rock? I do see it.
That is not easy for me to do. Like, I've been trying really hard to get this square as close to square as I can, to get these legs to match each other as close as I can, and that's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Not a professional. Alright, we brought a piece of our Unistrut over to test out our rollers. I can't think of the correct term, but our little rollers, they fit inside just barely. That's how these are designed. They're designed to fit in Unistrut, specifically deep strut. And there's very little play. So it's not too tight, it's not too loose. And it rolls really good. So, as you can see, we got some holes in there. Basically, this is going to sit like that and attach to the framework. So I've got 4 of these. There's 2 of them. There's going to be 2 on each side of the platform. They're going to be pretty close to each other like that. And I was measuring out and finding center. And then I measured, this is the outside edge of the Unistrut. There's a mark here and there that are wrong. Measure twice, right? Cut once. So a pair of these will sit on and bolt to a bracket over here. About so, and then the other set will be over here. Now this angle iron is a little on the small side for these to bolt to, so we went and grabbed this leftover angle iron from the log arch build. Maybe we'll leave a link to that up above if you want to watch that build. So we're going to use this to bolt these onto. So we're going to mount this in there, and after that we're going to put a little bit more bracing in. But I got to get these in first to see where they land. Got here our hoist. We're gonna kind of mock it up with the frame down here, just so I can see how things line up before I continue adding to that. I'm gonna add just a tad bit more bracing, but I don't want it to be in the way of the hoist. So I know I want it to sit on its side, like so. The cable will run out this way. Obviously, it has to go under this. So we're gonna cut a section out and then I'll weld up and over so the cable has a slot for itself
so you know, come out right here. So my idea is it'll come out there and hit a pulley, a small pulley that'll be on the wall over here. And that pulley will direct the cable upward to another pulley at the very top that'll go up and around, and actually the cable will come all the way back down and connect somewhere on here. I don't have, probably in the center. I'll have to mount some more steel. So that's where it'll hook up. So when you hit the button, that cable goes up around that pulley, comes back down into the spool, and that's how it's going to raise it. And that'll keep this hidden and out of the way of anything. Now that I have this in here, I know that the bracing I wanted to add will work, because we need a little bit more bracing on this so that it does not flex or move at all when it's in full operation. Okay guys, the skeleton part of the platform I think is complete. Other than a centerpiece over here will be where the cable from the hoist hooks up. Looks pretty cool. I decided to skip putting the top on this because I want to take it down into the root cellar and get it kind of mocked up, get the tracks set. That'll make this a lot lighter by not putting the lid on, because it's very thick and heavy. So I'm gonna put the rollers on just loosely, and I got all my nuts and bolts here. Most of this is grade 8 hardware, except for these lock rings, split rings. They were out of the grade 8 stuff. Less than $13 at Cal Ranch. If you go to Ace Hardware to get the same thing, you're going to pay $30 to $50 to who knows. I love Cal Ranch. Not sponsored. All right. Yeah, so let's put these on and we will head over to the root cellar. All right, if you remember from the beginning of the video, I said this is not exactly how this is going to go. And there's a reason for that. If you come closer, these pieces of all thread, first of all, they got to get cut in half, basically. But a nut and a washer, a lock washer have to go on there. And the roller will not fit if those are in the way. So here's the plan. I cut 10 of these. Basically, they're going to go like that. I'm still going to cut the all thread down. We can bolt it to the wall like that, and we're going to have them spaced out like so. And there's a reason for that. You can still get a wrench in here, say if something is wrong with the track or something needs to be adjusted. You can get a wrench in for the bottom and the top. And so we're going to have 5 chunks on this side, 5 chunks on that side. And then we're going to take the 10-foot stick and weld it to these brackets. So if we ever have to take a track off, it's not gonna be fun or easy. But you can get a wrench in there. The top piece is a little bit different. I put an extra all thread in there just because there's gonna be a lot of force from this. So I went overkill on the all thread. That piece is not, we're not gonna be able to get it out if we ever have to take it out for some reason. We'll have to cut the track loose from the piece that goes up here. Line it up. How's that look? A little bit that way?
Yeah.
That good?
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Man, that is awesome. Okay, so just take that. Oh, wait. Yeah, this should go right in. Oh, yeah. Like a glove.
Here, this is like too close. Whoops.
Well, it'll move itself out once you get it. Oh, there it is.
There we go. Yeah.
Look at that.
There it is.
That is so cool. Okay.
This is cool.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited right now. Okay. That looks awesome. All right.
No, it is.
Those should stay. Okay. I'm going to tack this in place in a few spots and then we're going
Test
to
it.
roll it up and down.
Cool. This is exciting.
Yeah. Okay, it's tacked up there. We're ready to test this out. Good thing I didn't put that plate on.
I know, right?
I wouldn't be able to do this.
Put it over your head.
A little tight right there. That's not bad though.
That is awesome. Look how much space we have still. Like if you look at the platform compared to like the ladder, even a ladder would take up this much space. So we're gonna have shelves all the way to this wall, all the way around, all the way around, and all the way back to this wall. It's up here.
Yeah, like you have the shelf can go all the way in here.
Yeah.
You got it's 21 and a quarter to the edge of that, so you could have a 20-inch shelf
Right.
easily, right? Like your main stuff could be right here. You just come down,
Yeah.
back up.
I know. This turned out awesome.
That's going to do it for today's video. This is going to turn into a 2-part series. Part 2 coming next week, next Sunday. We are going to put the lid on this thing. We're going to mount the hoist to the floor here, get the pulleys in, and the only way we can really test this is to hook it up to something above it. And the only thing I can think of is the backhoe. So the backhoe is going to be the guinea pig, so we can test this properly to make sure it works and to make sure we actually can build a elevator in our root cellar. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. We'll see you then.